right. So today I want to talk about the need for process. Somebody say process. We'll stick with process. All right. So, sometimes we look at people's lives and we want to emulate them. We want to be like them. But sometimes does anybody ever think, how on earth did she get there? How on earth did he get there? What did he do? What did he have to go through? What did she have to go through? What has made her? What process made him or her into the person that they are today? So I think the need for process is a very, very important one and a topic that we must deal with. For example, you are watching this video. Before we started recording, there was a whole plan. What am I going to talk about? I mean, there are wires, there are cameras, there's lights, there's microphone. People, it's not just things, but people planning. Somebody's holding lights. Somebody, people are doing all kinds of things. Somebody's behind the camera. I'm sitting here. Costumes were sorted out. How's she going to do her hair? All this, that's the process of this video. So what you are seeing is a finished, polished result. And it's like, ooh, that looks nice. Oh, she's looking good. Yeah, of course I'm looking good. But I had to put all this together so that it's a process. The hair, everything, makeup and everything. So the same with life. Think of it. There's a need for process and everybody needs to go through. Don't think that you look at somebody, and there's nothing wrong with saying, admiring somebody. That's good. You're inspired by their lives. But don't think that they got there just like that. I know I didn't get here just like this. I mean, I'm a singer. So I knew the days of walking through the snow, trying to catch a bus to get to choir rehearsals. Even on the day the train was cancelled, I was walking to choir rehearsals. I know the days of, being in the choir and singing songs and practicing and rehearsing, singing, learning to rehearse, even at short notice and presenting stuff. So it's like my muscles got tried through all those processes of, giving me things with hours notice or days notice to sing. So my muscles got trained. So that's a process. So I learned how to do things. I became hardened actually to some of those things. Like, if you told me to do it, I can do it in my sleep. So I think that the process in life is very, very important. Don't look at somebody and think, how did he get there? Everybody has a process to go through. People have gone through pain. People have gone through trauma. People have gone through, ups and downs in their lives to get to where they are. I used to tell people that, when I'm a singer, obviously, I'm a singer. Yeah. So when I was much younger, then we had books and CDs. So I always said that my purse was never safe in a shop, because in a music shop, because everywhere I went to, I was hungry for information. So my process, I was always looking for information about the voice. How's the voice work? Music, backing tracks. And so that was part of my process. My money was spent on those things. So that's part of the process that I went through to get to where I am now. So somebody will come to me and say, well, Helen, I want to be like you. And I say, well, are you ready to do all the study I did? Are you ready to pay for all those books that I bought, all those music tips that I bought? Are you ready to bury your head in some books and read and study? Are you ready to stay up and sing that song 10 times till you're blue in the face? Are you ready for your pastor to call you and say, well, I love this song that I heard, and that lady's an accomplished gospel artist, but I want you, little old Helen, to sing that song on Sunday. And you're thinking, no way, I'm in a dream. And he says, oh no, you are singing that song on Sunday, and this is Wednesday night, and you go around looking for the backing track to that song, and you sit in your room thinking, Holy Ghost, I don't know what I'm singing, but I'm singing something. So help me here. And you learn. So I learned that was like school of hard knocks. So you learned how to do things like quickly. So there was something that I learned. So that was a process. I learned to do things quickly and pick up things, lyrics, and pick up stuff quickly. So, and learn things quickly. So that was part of my process. So I was squeezed, and I was, I remember sometimes with my pastor sitting in front of, we had to do a whole camera shoot, a whole shoot of videos, and you're like tired and worn out. It's like, okay, next song. And all those things are building you. And then also, with producers, with people that you're working with, they challenge you, they push you, they squeeze it out of your voice. When you come out, you hear the product and you think, no way, that's not me. But it's the process that you've been through. The voice went through a process of being squeezed, and also it was able to go through that process because you also prepared it for the process. Sometimes we think we're just going to go there and the note is just going to fly out. Oh, I can speak. No, you got to train. You've got to put yourself through a process of rigor, training. Some people I hear about dancers who dance 5 hours a day. And then when they come on stage, people think, wow, they're fantastic. But what are you doing? You're sitting in your room, having tea and biscuits, and think that you're going to be dancing and singing like the other person. No, you are not. You're a joker. If you do that, you're joking. Okay, you're not a joker, but you're joking. You're joking. You're having, as the English say, you're having a laugh, So you can't do that. You go through a process, whether it's training. So as a singer, a lot of singers, I find that sometimes singers, I'm so sorry, but I'm just going to say this. Sometimes we, and I say we, I have to add myself, sometimes we can be very lazy. We can be very lazy when it comes to our skill. We don't want to go through that process of training. We think the training, I want to be like Pastor Helen. Pastor Helen, can you just lay your hands on me? And then by tomorrow, I'll be singing like you. I said, well, God, it doesn't happen like that. If it happened like that, I would have got about, I know quite a few people who I would have asked them to lay hands on me so I can sing like them. But it doesn't happen like that. You have to go through a process of training the skill that God gave you. You just don't leave it to be dormant and die and expect that you're going to stand up one day and all of a sudden you open your mouth and something comes out. Well, something will come out and it's not going to be what you expect. So you have to go through the process. You have to go through the process of training your voice. You have to train your voice. So I'm talking from now. Let me talk to singers. Train your voice. Look for information about voice. Train yourself. Look for people who can train you. Look for people who can mentor you in the area of singing ministry. I'm not just a singer. I'm a worshiper. That's my calling, really, is to bring to bring leadership in the area of worship. That's what I do. Obviously, I happen to just be a worshiper who sings. So I sing. So, but I don't want my skill, because you don't want your skill to be a distraction to the people that you are singing to. So as a worship leader, for me, it's an important thing to go through that process of training so that I won't be a distraction, that God is the only one who gets the attention and not me. So, when we tell people to train, I think it's a thing that we're being interested in, or we're trying to be funny. I said, no, when you are skilled in what you're doing, you don't even think about it anymore. You can focus on what you're supposed to do. So that's the process. But some of the process is hard. You have to go for that training. You have to pay. You have to pay for stuff. You have to pay people to do stuff for you. That's part of the process. You are giving of yourself. You have to give your time. You have to stay up watching, looking after the gift and what God has given you. So the process is important. There's a need for process in any sphere of life. You must go through the process. Don't ever skip the process. You'll meet it in the future. If you miss class 1, you'll be in class 1 forever. So go through the process. Every step. And it has steps. Every step. Go through the process. Well, we've come to the end very quickly. I wish I could talk some more, but I can't. So if you have any more questions, remember, put them in the comment section. If you've got comments, I want to hear your comments. Comments, like this video, share it. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, subscribe. All right. It's been a pleasure coming your way. Bye.